Ryan Garcia, this Ye, I'm on the Nitrous.
And I was at the dentist's office the other day. I was taking a nitrous oxide. I suggested if anybody's like stressed out. Right? And I refused to take this, right? You understand that if I had taken the medication, I would not be here, and it would have been, oh, he was deeply troubled. We miss him. We love his music, though.
Well, they would have Britney Spears too. I mean, look at
they would have Michael Jackson.
When my karma comes, you know, I'll accept it in real time.
So it looks like things with Kanye are taking a super dark turn, and fans are really starting to freak out because this whole situation is giving major Michael Jackson vibes, and we all know how tragic that story ended. According to Kanye's former chief of staff, Milo Yiannopoulos, Kanye's private dentist has been supplying him with huge amounts of nitrous oxide, also known as laughing gas. And get this, Milo is claiming that Kanye's addiction is so out of control that it might have already messed up his brain permanently. I mean, this is some serious stuff, guys. It's not just about a celebrity going off the rails. This could be a full-on health crisis. And the fact that his own team is leaking this kind of info is making everyone wonder just how bad things have gotten behind closed doors. Now, some folks are saying that Milo is just salty because he no longer works for Kanye. So now he's on a mission to drag Kanye's name through the mud. But here's the kicker. There's actual video evidence of Kanye hitting the nitrous oxide outside of a dentist's office. Also, back in 2015, when Kanye was still married to Kim Kardashian, he did an interview where he admitted that he had an eye-opening trip under the influence of nitrous oxide at a dentist's office. And apparently, it was the Kardashians who recommended this dentist to Ye. So this whole nitrous oxide thing has been on Kanye's radar for a while, which is honestly kind of spooky when you consider everything that's been going on with him since he divorced Kim. But here's where it gets really chilling. So you know how Kanye has been going on about how the powers that be are out to silence him for good? And don't forget that his former personal trainer, Harley Pasternak, literally threatened to send him back to Zombieland. So it's not totally out of the question to wonder if this dentist could be another one of those shady Hollywood handlers hired to take Kanye down and make it look like an OD. Now, I know Kanye isn't exactly everybody's fave, but let's be real. There's something seriously off about how every celeb who tries to spill the tea on the Hollywood puppet masters ends up addicted, crazy, or 6 feet under. So what's the deal with Kanye and this rumored nitrous addiction? When did this all start? And could there really be some dark forces in Hollywood plotting to take him out? Let's break this down.
Former Chief of Staff Milo Yiannopoulos says that Kanye is addicted to nitrous and that he has been using this nitrous gas and that he's getting it from different places. It's not, at least the way Milo is describing it, it's not unlike what we learned
about Michael
Jackson getting doctor shopping, actually.
Something seriously spooky is happening with Kanye right now, and fans are legit starting to worry that this could turn into another MJ situation. So Kanye's former chief of staff, Milo Yiannopoulos, just dropped some jaw-dropping accusations in a legal affidavit, and it's not looking good. Milo, who resigned as Kanye's chief of staff back in May after working with him for 2 years, is claiming that Kanye is hooked on nitrous oxide, aka laughing gas. And here's the real kicker. Milo says Kanye's dentist, Thomas P. Connolly, knew all about Kanye's mental health struggles and allegedly took advantage of them by supplying him with the gas. Now, just so we're all on the same page, the recreational use of nitrous oxide is super dangerous. We're not just talking about a little risk here. It's a neurotoxin, and using it too much can cause permanent damage to your brain and body that you can't undo. People use nitrous oxide because it gives them this feeling of euphoria and relaxation, and sometimes even hallucinations. But if you keep using it or make it a habit, you're basically playing with fire. It messes with your brain, and over time, it can cause some serious neurological damage. Plus, it's not safe to inhale while you're standing because it can make you dizzy, cause disassociation, or even make you lose control of your body temporarily. And if you're not careful, it can be deadly, especially if you're not getting enough oxygen while inhaling it. In the US, it's only legal to have, use, or distribute nitrous oxide if a licensed doctor or dentist is supervising you. And this brings us to Kanye's dentist, Thomas Connolly, who Milo claims has been taking advantage of Kanye's Kanye's mental health issues and supplying him with nitrous oxide for recreational use. Milo aired out these allegations in a long string of posts on X on Wednesday, August 7th. He also put everything in a sworn affidavit, claiming it was all done under penalty of perjury. Milo started his thread on X saying, "There is a reason Ye, formerly known as Kanye West, is no longer capable of successfully releasing music or clothing. In fact, there are several reasons, but the most serious and the most recent is his dentist, Thomas Connolly. Connolly got Ye hooked on nitrous laughing gas. It is my belief that Connolly sought to diminish Ye's mental faculties so that Connolly and his business associates could extract millions of dollars from him." Milo then went on to say that he uncovered this fraud earlier this year and intervened. But according to him, Kanye blew up their relationship on purpose by proposing something he knew Milo would have to resign over, namely the resurrection of his longtime idol fantasy of making corn. Milo continued by saying celebrity dentist Thomas Connolly is a dangerous who targets African American celebrities into whose mouth he puts fake diamonds. Milo said he suspects Connolly did the same thing to Lil Yachty and added, "He must be stopped. I filed a complaint with the California Dental Board last week to that end." Milo also shared the full text of his sworn affidavit where he describes in detail the suspected plot against Kanye. In his affidavit, Milo described Dr. Connolly's conduct as reckless, unethical, dishonest, exploitative, and upon information and belief, illegal. And he said he was motivated to report Dr. Connolly out of urgent concern for Kanye's safety and his health. Milo then goes on to list Dr. Connolly's alleged crimes, including the unlawful supply of enormous quantities of nitrous gas to a wealthy, famous patient for explicitly recreational use, the physical transportation of 4 surgical-sized canisters by Connolly himself into the patient's home on just one afternoon, charging more than $50,000 per month for this service, continuing to supply the gas long after the emergence of distressing symptoms that led to widespread comment and concern, instruction to the patient in the operation of nitrous gas canisters left by Connolly at the patient's home, knowingly encouraging their use in the absence of a qualified anesthesiologist or medical professional by a person with a history of mental illness and addiction, the abandonment of said patient to the self-destructive consequences of said dependence, showing indifference or worse to the prospect of permanent damage in brain and body by Connolly's negligence at best, and malice with the intent to defraud at worst. Upon information and belief, the wrongful and fraudulent extraction of millions of dollars by Connolly and his business associates from a patient he knew to be in a confused, dependent, weakened, and addicted state. Milo also alleges that Connolly suddenly moved into the patient's apartment building at the patient's own expense so as to better keep an eye on him, and then lied about the source of the funds for the move. But that's not all. Milo also submitted text messages that appear to show Connolly inquiring about the possibility of paying a third party to commit against Milo. According to Milo, he also has testimony from Connolly's business partner that he has defrauded dozens of his athlete and celebrity client base by charging them for natural stone diamond orthodontics, but in reality using cheap lab-grown diamonds for as much as 15,000% in price difference. And as if that wasn't bad enough, Milo also alleged that Connolly's business partner testified that Connolly owes a debt of more than $2 million to a Mexican cartel, and that this cartel owns his surgical practice in Beverly Hills and uses it to launder money. Milo claims he first met Dr. Connolly after he was introduced to him as the dentist who assisted Kanye in the design and installation of his infamous titanium grills, first fitted in January 2024 at a cost of $850,000. According to Milo, by April 2021, Yeezy employees started worrying about Kanye's dependence on the gas and speaking openly about it. Milo states, Ye talked about it nonstop in meetings. He seemed to be in and out of the inhaler mask on a near constant basis, even posting a video message to the MMA fighter Ryan Garcia on the subject. In the deleted video that Kanye originally posted on his IG and then removed just 9 minutes later, he is seen wearing the mask and telling Garcia he's on nitrous.
Ryan Garcia, this Ye, I'm on the nitrous.
Meanwhile, Kanye's fans who have tried to raise the alarm about Dr. Connolly are saying Connolly is blocking everyone who speaks out against him. One fan on Reddit shared Connolly's post on his story and wrote, "This MFer is the new Conrad Murray. They're trying to MJ Kanye." And get this, the fan said Dr. Connolly viewed his story and immediately blocked him. But the scariest part is that Kanye himself previously claimed they were trying to Michael Jackson him following his hospitalization back in 2016. According to Kanye, they first tried to give him massive doses of lithium, the same drug that reportedly caused Britney Spears to develop permanent cognitive and mental health issues. In his 2022 interview on Tim Pool's Timcast IRL podcast, Kanye claimed that he was prescribed an unusually high dose of lithium after his hospitalization. And when Tim suggested they were trying to Britney Spears him, Kanye said they were actually trying to get rid of him like they did with Michael Jackson.
What I'm saying is, look, they tried to medicate me. I was exhausted. They wrongly diagnosed me. And they when I asked them, how much lithium did you want to put me on exactly? It took them 4 days to answer because they were embarrassed about the amount, right? And I refused to take this, right? You understand that if I had taken the medication, I would not be here, and it would have been, he was deeply troubled. We miss him. We love his music, though.
Well, they would have Britney Spears you. I mean, look at
they would have Michael Jackson
or worse, yeah.
So look at
what they did. Look at what they did to Britney. When she went in, she was tired, she was exhausted, she was in a bad way. But 10 years of that medication wrecked her brain. You can see it now. You can see.
And then, of course, there was that whole situation with Harley Pasternak, Kanye's former personal trainer, who was later discovered to have ties with Canadian intelligence. Shortly after Kanye started speaking out against the people who control the entertainment industry, Pasternak Kanye, telling him he would institutionalize him again, which means Pasternak pretty much admitted he was behind Kanye's hospitalization in 2016.
This is a trainer, but come to find out, he was actually Canadian intelligence, but this is my trainer. So this shows you the kind of handlers that are around the superstars in California, right?
So I don't know about you, but this whole situation with nitrous gas is giving me major chills. It's like Kanye is caught in the same kind of web that MJ was tangled in, surrounded by these shady doctors and handlers who are just out to drain him dry, or worse. Fans are now starting to get seriously freaked out, and who can blame them? We've seen this kind of thing before, and it didn't end well. People are legit worried that history might be repeating itself, and this is just way too sinister to be a coincidence. One fan said, unlawful supply of enormous quantities of nitrous gas to a wealthy, famous patient. Where have I heard that before? Ye is going to be Michael Jackson by the so-called dentist. And someone else wrote, this sounds like Harley Pasternak 2.0. It's wild how that story has seemingly been memory hold. I'm also getting deja vu of what happened to Michael Jackson leading up to his overdose. Now, this is Milo, so we know he's not telling the full story. However, from the bits we know, it's obviously not looking good. I hope Ye gets some demons off his team. Drain the swamp at Yeezy, so to speak. But let me know how you feel about the situation. Do you think they're really plotting to do Kanye like they allegedly did MJ? Drop your comments below and then stick around for this next story.